Welcome to Daddy vs. Doctor. Here are your hosts, pediatrician Dr. Scott Cohen and comedian Sebastian Maniscalco.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Daddy vs. Doctor. My name's Sebastian Maniscalco, along here with Dr. Scott Cohen. Today, we
hit a lot.
We hit a lot.
Talk about adoption.
We do. We talk about adoption.
That's an amazing story.
Amazing story from Mike Lawrence, comedian and writer, who's got an amazing story about adopting a child. We also
talk to Hollywood.
We got a kid on this thing.
Amazing.
I want to say he's a prodigy.
Yeah.
But 14 years old, carries himself like he's 44. Wait till you hear this kid. And we're getting buzzed on beer in a bottle.
On the next Daddy vs. Doctor. Wherever you are, I want to be. Where are you guys?
Yeah, we're in Florida. We're in Sarasota.
Ah, it's beautiful there.
How are you?
Good. Do you have crocodiles back there?
We do.
Gators, yeah.
That's scary.
He was just boat racing.
So, yeah, this is, we've never really had a family on with this type of setting in the back. The whole, jeez.
Oh, all right. And you had like stadium seating.
Did you sell tickets to this thing?
This is also just an average Wednesday.
Oh, well, it's good to know that the kids are in, okay, well, they're out of school. So how many kids? Oh, you got three kids.
I got three kids. It's Fiona, Fletcher, Fisher, and Tracy. Well, she's not my kid.
So we got a self-diagnoser in the family?
Sweet.
All right, so how old are you?
13.
13, and you're on Google looking up what, like a rash?
Every day I feel like I'm going to die from something. Or I feel like I have cancer in every area. It's not good.
Oh, you're Sebastian Maniscalco.
You're talking to your brother over here. I got the same problem. I constantly think I'm passing away daily. So
yeah.
Do you see this at all? I mean, the kid. First of all,
what's your name?
Fisher.
So Fisher, as I'm talking, he only spoke for about a minute.
Yeah.
This kid is well beyond his years, right?
100%.
As far as like I feel like I'm talking to a 22-year-old guy, right? You're
So
around,
true.
right? Is he older than he seems?
Absolutely. They call him Hollywood. He's the old soul. He's the calmest 13-year-old you'll around. Very
You don't
mature.
even have that nickname. That's a great nickname. So Fisher, I get this a lot, and the crazy thing is, it's not just from kids. I have to talk to parents about this because parents love to go what I call Google University. You know how Google University works? You put in a question, and you're going to get 100 pages of answers, and they're all wrong. And on the 100th page, it usually says everything's fine, and that's usually the right answer. Because Google is not good at figuring exactly what's going on. That's why I feel as a doctor, I have a profession, thankfully, that's safe. I'm not going to be, removed for just computers, because there's a nuance. If you name any symptom, fever, belly pain, I can name you a million things that cause that. But it's not just that one thing. You have to take the whole person into account and everything else that's going on. And what Google makes money off of is like media sensationalizing things, meaning if it scares you, you're going to come back and look at more. So usually the first things you read are bad things, cancer, something's wrong with your heart, something's wrong with your brain. But thankfully in kids, those things aren't common. And the more common things are at the end. That's why you should always talk, not just to a doctor, but to your parents. An adult should always get information from adult more than any other kid your age. Teenagers don't know anything. And definitely computers, because Google, it's really hard to weed through what information is real and what's not. Even when I go on Google, I read things and I'm like, is that true? Did I not learn that? But usually it's because it's not the full story.
Okay. Now, two things.
Tell me.
You're talking to Hollywood
Yeah.
like he's like you're using your like pediatric
Because
kid
he
voice.
gets it.
No, you're using your pediatric kid voice.
sorry,
You could
okay.
talk to this kid
Yeah.
like you talk to adults.
Yeah.
All right. He's gonna, and he understands what sensationalizing means.
Yeah.
Okay. This you're talking to
But
an adult.
I know. But Fisher, in all seriousness, are these things that actually really concern you, or you're looking up and you understand, oh, I know that's probably not the case? Or are you really looking at these things and saying, oh my God, I may really die and this is affecting your life?
So the way my brain works is when I look it up, if I think I have something, I'll look at it. And I understand that Google just is usually wrong.
Yeah.
But my brain is hooked on that usually, so there's always in the back of my head, like, there's something wrong.
Right. But that's why it's good when you're feeling that way to talk to somebody about it so that they can reassure you that that's not what's going on. Because thankfully, for the most part, it's not going to be. I mean, I take care of Sebastian's kids. Guess who I get more questions about? Do you think I get more questions about his kids or about him?
You guess him.
Yeah, him, 100%. Texts me every day. I got a rash, and he sends me pictures, and I'm gonna get arrested with the pictures he sends me about where his rashes are, Fisher. So it's fine. It's not happening to him. It's not happening to you.
Well, as parents, what are you guys doing? Are you going, is it going through a phase, or is this something that you're going?
I grew up a lot like you did, Italian American. My parents Sicilian, Italian. Nothing is wrong until your lips are blue or you have blood, broken ankles. For him, I always tell him he's going to be okay, so I always dismiss it, and I always am fearful that one time he may have some sort of condition and we're not paying attention to it, you know? So it's kind of a battle for myself to take it seriously as well, because, you know, he plays sports, he gets hurt, something's hurt, I don't know what's hurting him. I say, don't worry about it, it'll go away, but you know, you just never know what could happen. So
right, we don't want to poo-poo any of your concerns, Fisher. And the point is that we can rule them out, right? Oh yeah, you do have that symptom, but you don't have these other 20 symptoms. Or you know what? That symptom happens in people that are 60 years old and under, but not in, you know, your age group. So there's a lot of things. So we should be honest about it and look into the things that you're concerned about so we can reassure you most of all that everything's fine. A lot of people come into my office and all they just want to hear is that, yeah, it was nothing. And that's okay. It's not a wasted visit. It's great for me to be able to say, actually, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing for me to do. That's a lot of what my job is, to help educate and prevent illness and help people understand what to worry about, but more importantly, what not to worry about. And I'm glad that you're so inquisitive and you can actually learn a lot. All these things you're reading, you know, somebody else may have, or you may learn from this. Do you want to be a doctor when you grow up?
Not necessarily, but
there you go. A comedian?
No, I'm looking
What are you gonna be?
No, I'm looking at something extremely fascinating here. And I don't know if you picked up on this behaviorally. The kid, Hollywood, is so engaged, right?
Yeah.
He's listening, and you don't see this with a lot of 13, 14-year-old kids. He's actually nodding when you're talking.
He's listening.
He's actually acknowledging.
He's making eye contact too.
His brother in another world. Right? Could care less back there in the bleachers, in the bleacher seats. Front row, listening. Doesn't want to be a doctor. This kid could be paying the mortgage in 2 years.
He's probably gonna be running the world. When you need somebody to work for you, give me a call.
Awesome.
So yeah, no. Listen, everything's gonna be fine. Listen, I'm with you. You're too young to be looking at things that online. As soon as you get into your 40s, then you start going, okay, should this be there? Then you start Googling. But 13, 14 years old, go out, have fun, go catch an alligator. Everything's gonna be fine, Hollywood. And we'll see you here in Hollywood in a few years hosting your own TV show called Google This. As a parent, your top priority is always your children's well-being. You want to give them everything they need to grow and thrive, both now and in the future. With term life insurance from Fabric by Gerber Life, help protect your family so their future is secure, no matter what happens. Fabric was designed by parents for parents to help you get high-quality, surprisingly affordable term life insurance policy in less than 10 minutes. Life insurance can have a bad rap for being complicated, but Fabric makes it easy to apply with its seamless digital experience. It's all online and on your time. And if you need extra support, Fabric's team of licensed insurance agents could answer questions along the way. You could be afforded health coverage instantly with no health exam required. Fabric was specifically designed to give parents like you affordable term life insurance, plus wills, access to college saving funds, and more, all in an easy online experience. Protect your family today with Fabric by Gerber Life. Apply today in just 10 minutes at meetfabric.com/DVD. That's meetfabric.com/DVD. MEET fabric.com/DVD. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company. Not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
I want to do a little this or that with the kids and you. So I'm going to ask you a question. I want all the kids to point to the parent this pertains to the most.
Okay.
All right. You got it. So it's good. We got mom and dad on either side. And what's the brother and sister's name?
Fletcher and Fiona.
Fletcher, Fiona, and Fisher.
Yeah.
Got it. Awesome. All right. First question. No, just point. Who is the tougher parent? Got it. All right. Who is the better cook? Wow.
I'm Italian, it's in the family.
Who is the funnier parent?
Got it.
And who is the better?
Okay, can I just say that a little side note? Okay, so nobody had.
She's home with them all the time.
Hold it up.
I'm at work. I come home. She's the disciplinarian. I'm the fun one. But keep going.
All right. Who is the mom? Oh, we got one. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys.
Well, take care.
You too.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Hollywood is something else, man. That kid, I see a kid like that and I go, wow. I hope Caruso and Serafina are that developmentally sound at that age. There's things you hope for your kids when you meet somebody who's like attentive, polite, engaging. You go, oh, I wish my kid would be that way at that age.
No.
Looking at Caruso right now, got a long way to go to be Hollywood.
No, but that's fine. When we picked our preschool, one of the things that sold us is that the older kids gave the tours to the families.
Oh.
And we said, wait, if our child who's entering kindergarten could speak to an adult, look them in the eye as a sixth grader and give a tour, wow, they must be doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was amazing. Eye contact, everything.
It was great. I want to also touch, and this is kind of off topic, and we'll get to toy time in a minute, Montessori schools. I often look at Montessori kids, and if I were to guess, maybe that kid went to a Montessori school. They seem like they're a little bit more well-adjusted, well-behaved. Do you see that in the office? Did we talk about this?
No. I mean, I don't know. I think it just depends, the variation. But that method of teaching appeals to a lot of people because it's very regimented, certain tasks, paying attention.
I look at Montessori as almost...
You're thinking Japanese.
Japanese.
Yeah, I knew you were thinking that. Yeah, because you think of the Japanese as super, just with it, smart, got it going on.
Although I think Montessori stems from Italian. Isn't Montessori Italian? Let's look that up. I think Montessori comes from Italy. That's nothing to do with Italian kids. It's more so the guys, Rome. Hello.
Wow.
Thank you. I know something. So anyway, moving on here. This is one of my favorite parts.
What's your favorite part of the show?
Toy time. Okay, here we go. Yes. Now, this is bothering me already.
Big brown box.
I'm not too into the packaging.
Well, it's not nondescript. See, it's already open for us, thankfully, because you'd have to have an X-Acto for this.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
got
wow.
here?
Here we go.
Oh, look at this. Oh, we should let's time you on this one, Sebastian. So we have a baby doll here for those listeners without video. Beautiful little baby girl. And it comes with lots of things. So it comes with diapers. It comes with a blender because I guess that's the age you would make smoothies. And a bottle.
I got to ask you something.
Tell me.
Is this a kind of baby? Is this like a...
Comb. Yeah, tell me.
Is this a kind of baby, like a American Doll?
No, it's not an American Girl
Because
doll.
the packaging.
I don't know.
Look, it seems like this is baby alive.
Oh, well, it makes sense. Because she's not.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
baby
I think
alive.
you can make them fruit smoothies.
Okay.
No,
It's got real powder. Wow. Okay.
No, you can make smoothies. I don't know why this baby comes with a smoothie maker. Do you have water?
Yeah. That doesn't work?
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, let's say.
Okay.
But I don't know who.
Oh, the baby urinates. Oh,
Okay, so
wow.
so we're gonna.
Wow.
So I'm gonna smoothie up the smoothie.
Okay. Here
All
we go.
right,
There
and then
we
what
go.
are we doing with
Let me put
it?
the diaper on. Let me put the diaper
Then
on.
we're.
By the way.
Oh wait, can we tie it? Let's tie. Do you know how to put a diaper on? All right, ready, set.
Wait. Hold on. Let me get.
No. This is part of learning.
Okay,
ready,
ready?
set, go.
Okay. Here we go.
And it's on backwards.
No, it isn't.
Yep, it is.
This is the pad inside.
I know.
This goes like this. This goes like no. This goes this. No, bro.
Go ahead, put it on the way you think.
Okay. This go this way. This way. Okay. I know how to put a diaper on. Believe me. I'm one of those parents that equal opportunity. You know, like I did stuff. I do stuff.
I do stuff.
I do things.
If this baby was moving, there's no chance this diaper's getting
I'm
on.
one of the best diaper
Right.
parents in the country.
In the country. So, before I had kids, and we diaper babies a lot. We do the exam, we take the diaper, we put it back on. And then when I had kids, I had multiple parents in the same week say, Dr. Cohen, we're so happy you have a baby now. And I said, why? And they said, because we always redid the diaper after you left. And I thought maybe one time it was like funny, but I got 3 people who said it in the same week. So I knew I was really doing it. They said, yeah, you never did it tight enough because you didn't know, you don't have kids and it would leak. So we always tightened it afterwards. So, being a pediatrician, you don't learn everything. So you're going to feed the baby?
Okay, now put the baby in put the bottle.
No, I think, what is
Put
it?
it in the bottle, this liquid.
Oh,
and then the
sorry.
baby sucks it and pisses.
But what lesson are we? Yeah, I guess this is bodily function. Maybe they should call it bodily function, baby.
A live baby, bro. A live baby.
live baby
So,
it is.
all
All right, you feed the baby.
right, let me feed the baby.
All right, do it.
By the way, this is also a lesson in play. Okay. A lot of parents don't know how to play. A lot of parents would just put this in and then watch what happens. What I do is I set it up.
Yeah, tell
Right. So if you were my kids, I'd go, I think baby's hungry. I think baby wants food.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, daddy. And then I go, okay, all right. So how do we feed baby? What do we do? And then the kids, we interact with the child.
Yeah.
And then I
What do you do?
cradle. Okay.
Wow. All right.
Now this,
Full.
I didn't do a lot of this bottle feeding just because Lana was doing a lot of breastfeeding. But from my understanding, this is the proper way
Looks great.
to hold a baby and feed.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't get on your
Okay.
jacket.
All right. I don't think we needed the powder. I think the powder was a little, just water would do. Okay, here we go.
What's great is you'll see if the diaper works.
Does it go right through automatically, or do you got to shake this? Ooh, whoa. Spit up. Spit up.
So how do you burp? How do you burp a baby?
Well, I'm not going to burp it because we're going to get on the ground.
It's going to get on my jacket, which is exactly how Sebastian.
Oh, dude. Bro. Wow.
Because you didn't diaper correctly.
I mean, come on. It should be able to catch it. Wow. That's aggressive. All right. So apparently you got to put this thing on. Well, you would think, it would just hold it. Okay. So let's see how much.
How
How
absorbent the toy diapers are.
Yeah.
This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Okay, here, look.
Oh, look, it made a
Color.
stain.
It even changed its color.
Wow.
In going through this, well, what are the other? Is that just other smoothie
berry
flavors?
packets, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Juice packets, yeah.
Okay,
You're right. I don't know that it's necessary. to make the water more staining. When you play with the baby. Here, I bought you a doll you're going to feed over my white sofa and use the berry packets.
Give me your thoughts.
I mean, the way you did it just changes my whole view on everything. I like the imaginary play. I like the doll, the feeding. I think we could imagine it all. I think dolls are great.
Okay, you like it.
The blender and the extra smoothie stuff, I don't know how necessary.
Here's my problem.
What do you got?
Not enough diapers with the initial purchase. Now, I don't know if you go to their website, you could order more of the diapers, but I'm looking for at least 15 to 25 diapers in the original
more absorbent.
box. Yeah, and you don't have to put it on to perfection. This thing leaked right away. I mean, I had it over the hole. I had the thing over the hole. It's just
the urethra.
Came out the side. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Is it the hole is a urethra?
Yeah. What do you think it was called? We need Fisher back on to Google this, please. So, how many lollipops you giving this?
I give it 3 lollipops. I think it's a mess.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3.
Yeah, it's a little too messy. What I'm looking for in toys is
cleanliness,
clean, less cleanup.
Yes,
I feel like this with a kid, they get water all over the house and stained water at that. So 3 out of 5 for a live baby. Cute baby, but just a mess and all.
Yep, sounds
there
good.
There you have it. Live baby coming to you right from Daddy versus Doctor. Mike.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man.
Hey,
thanks
Mike.
for being with us today on Daddy vs. Doctor. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course.
So, you adopted a baby.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Explain that process. Is this something that, well, first of all, what age do you get the baby?
Newborn.
Oh, brand new.
Yeah. We had to go pick it up.
Go pick it up. All right. So
we got a text. My water broke on Friday. We were at the hospital the next morning.
That's great, man. That's great. So adoption, is it a drawn out long process?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you got to prove?
Years of rejection in show business have really helped make it easier. Because it's funny, a birth mom with 5 kids will tell you why she decided to parent and doesn't think you should parent her kid, but I still don't know why I'm not writing for Jimmy Fallon. And I sent my packet 12 years ago.
Yeah, so take us through that process. What did you and your wife go through? Yeah.
So it was, we've been talking about it for a while. We had our own health issues. I worked at a fast food place for 7 years, so my sperm probably has McNugget coating on it. I'm amazed I'm alive. And so
wait, where did you work?
We were like,
Mike, where'd you work?
McDonald's.
Oh, you worked at McDonald's. So what, you just knocking back Big Macs all day long?
Yeah. I would steal McNuggets because I was like, this is how I beat the system, and then put them in my pocket while they were hot, and I was winning. I started stand up while I was there too. So, and then I moved to New York, but yeah, it was, it was the pandemic. It was August 2020. We were like, let's really do this. We're both home. We were always working. Sometimes I was on the road, and we're like, let's do this. We call up an adoption agency, and that first phone call was an hour and a half. And it was like, they basically try to talk you out of it.
Wow.
Because they're like, this is it, and this might happen, and this might happen, and are you ready for this? And you really have to be ready for it. I mean, I'm one of those people, I think, I definitely would advocate for it for other people, but, be prepared, because there's a lot of heartbreak and, bumps along the way. And so that's August 2020. And then what you do is you get home study approved. And so they come to your house, they make sure that it's safe enough for a kid. I had to put my action figures away, the pointy ones. And, it's basically like, if you don't have a gun or a pool, it is a very quick process. It's like, yeah, it's safe. And we have neither of those things. And then, you take all these classes. It's amazing what you have to do to be an adoptive parent. And there are millions of people who just get to have a kid.
Let me interject here. It's amazing. Like you're saying, Mike.
Anybody can have a child.
Yeah.
Anybody could have a kid. No one comes to your house to see if you got a gun or a pool.
Or you're crazy.
No. Yeah, Mike. What do you got? The worst thing in the house? Comic books. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he's got to jump through hoops to what? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
When they're interviewing you, are they asking you questions about your fitness as a parent? Like they're testing you on why you want a baby, everything.
Yeah, and then you fill out a form and you can put preferences, and that part is really weird. And, like racial preferences, gender preferences, it feels like eugenics. You can get to that point. And they'll tell you, hey, if you have preferences, you may take a lot longer because, otherwise we're just going to give you what, comes our way. And we left all that stuff blank. And then, and it goes into, substance preferences and things like that, and we're like, this is adoption, and we know this is going to be a little bit harder, but we're open to it. So we said, yeah, we're okay with that. You take child CPR classes. You take they go through your finances. It's just a long
maybe they should do it on everybody.
Meticulous.
And
maybe before you have sex, somebody should come to your house. Right? Oh, you're planning to have sex? Well, we got to talk about some things. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like social workers will come before you do.
Right. That is good.
And so you go through all of this, and you make a profile. That part is wacky. And me and my wife met on OkCupid, so like we met through dating profiles, but you make like with pictures, and it's called a Dear Expectant Mother letter. So you're writing to the woman who's going to read this, and and they're going to decide the one that they find the most comfortable. And we took photos, and it was so funny. I was wearing like a Ultimate Warrior, like Macho Man shirt, and the woman who did the profile like blurred. She's like, I don't know if they should know you're a wrestling fan. I'm like, how else am I going to tell them I'm autistic without writing the word autistic? I just want to get this out there. And then so you get home study approved. That was August 2020 when we started. We were approved and everything in towards the beginning of April 2021. We had a match within a week.
Wow.
And we it was a birth mom, and at the last minute she's like, I can't do this, and that's it. And then we had another one that was the same. So those were tough. It's like, and then third time was the charm. And and these things, like, yeah, I mean, I was never prepared for any of this emotionally, but like, you go to the first two, we met the moms. We flew to where they live. We sat down, and it's like, it's the weirdest conversation you'll ever have in your life, because it's small talk, but about the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's like the second one, like, we were just trying to find something to connect on. And, I was writing for Pete Davidson at the time, and I mentioned that, and then we both like didn't like Kanye West, and that was like our breakfast at Tiffany's. So maybe he, maybe he said something about the Jews in the time that she decided to not pick us, and she's like, I actually like it.
And do you get this? Do you have a say in what role the birth mother plays in the child's life, or do they decide that, or you have to come to an agreement?
You say that at the beginning of like an open or close, and you do discuss that. And obviously, the variable is, the people themselves,
right?
And they can say that they're going to be there, they might not, or they can over deliver. It's complicated. But this third one was this woman in Florida, and she was incarcerated, and she had different profiles. And she said, she's like, give me a weekend, I need to show them to the cellmates, and they picked us.
Oh wow! So wait, the prison, the inmates picked you guys?
It was a jail, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they're like, they seem like a genuine, nice family. And it was like, okay, that's great. It's like, because who is better to judge a character? Like, I felt like we were truly like certified. And it's also, like every parent wants their kid to have a better life than them. And I was born in Florida, so to have a kid and take them out of there, I've already done my job. He is already not going to be me. But and so we matched with her. I was writing on a show that just was announced as canceled 2 days before we're talking, Reboot. I was in the mini room for that on Hulu, and the baby was supposed to be due in December. It was due in November, and that was it. Like, I told my job, like, hey, I'll still Zoom, I'll still work, I'll still go write a script. I did all that stuff. I was like, I'm here, but I gotta go to Florida and see this kid. And they're like, yeah, that's great, and they were really supportive. And so we found out, like, if she said her water broke, it was premature. She gave birth in the ambulance. Wow. I believe. And it was like in the middle of the afternoon. We couldn't get a flight until that night, and it's like, and then when we got there, she was gone. So we've not seen her, we've not met her, but we met him, and it was beautiful. I remember like me and my wife, like, on the way to the hospital, playing that Christina Perri 1,000 Years song, and just both crying because it was like, finally happening, and we'd been through a lot, and then he was there.
Wow.
And I am a big comic book fan, and he was born with so everything I talk about is contextualizing in an origin story. I'm not nerdy, but his name is Logan. And one of the main reasons is he was born with NAS. The mother was using, so he tested positive.
Sorry, it's called neonatal abstinence syndrome. So babies that are born to mothers who are addicted to drugs can show certain symptoms, and they're scored on this scale. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So she'd gotten out of the jail and then was using again, and and he was born going through withdrawals, and which is the toughest thing to see, like a 1-day-old baby just struggling. And then like within 2 days he had like started to overcome it, and Wolverine heals himself. And Wolverine's real name is Logan. Yeah. So he's Logan.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
I had no idea Wolverine had a real name. That's
yeah.
Well, I
knew the Logan part. I didn't know how it was going full circle. That's amazing. Wow. But isn't it amazing to see a newborn overcome something that would be hard on anybody, right?
Yeah, it really makes you think about life and the complaints we have and all of that. And like, you know, I'm not gonna have them, you know, like wear a shirt, but like, you know, I beat heroin a day into my life. I can cry if I want to. But, you know, like it is, you know, seeing that and the power of like, I guess the, you know, humanity and our will to survive is like an amazing thing. You know, I didn't know how that was going to hit me. Like, you know, I think there are all the cliche things about being a parent and you're going to discover this and that. And that was just like, wonderful, and I've kind of like had that sense of discovery with everything he's done since. You know, now he's starting to make eye contact a little bit. He'll be 12 weeks in 2 days,
and he's doing well.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, we did the 2-month checkup, and he didn't have anything, and we were, you know, we're so worried about RSV and all that, but he hasn't gotten it. And, you know, it's that, and it is that thing too, like there's the natural parent need of like, I, you know, want to protect my child, but there's also the adoptive parent, like this person trusted me, you know, it's like, you know, this is the most important library book I'm ever going to take.
I like that. I like how you're weaving in the humor in explaining the story. I think that's what a lot of comedians kind of do. I mean, it's taking something that's very, you know, emotional and there's hints in your story of like pops of humor, which I think a lot of times comedians, you know, like to use as, you know, almost like a therapeutic way of kind of dealing with some of the gut-wrenching things in life. And you say he's 12 weeks. Is there something right now, you as a father, is there anything that's popping in your mind? I know it's been only 12 weeks that you're struggling with, or that, I don't know, something that's popping out at you?
Well, could a guy address the humor thing first?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think a part of it is, I am naturally, you know, a comedian and a comedy writer and all that, but I think you going through the process, because, you know, I briefly mentioned, you know, the things that didn't work out, and so much of it is, you know, in the infertility itself, it's all grief, right? And what you end up having to do a lot is manage other people's grief. And, you know, and so when you're talking about these things and people are so sorry for you to a point that you can't even move on, you know, it's, I you know, part of the using the humor is a way of letting people know I'm okay with all this stuff. I have, like you said, the therapy of it, I have processed it. I am okay with it. Because people will feel so sorry for you to a point of, you know, you're not even talking to them on a human level anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like, so that part of it, that's, I think, where I started to get, you know, jokey about it, because when the more serious I would get, the more serious people would be in response. And I don't want to have to deal with their grief all the time over a situation that we're going through.
Well, you set the table, you know, like you set the table by peppering it with humor, because then for the listener, I know that, you know, I could interject humor in this story as well. And, you know, we don't have to be so serious about it, you know? So I think it puts the people at ease when someone interjects humor into a story that people might not think humor's appropriate or it's unexpected. It's nice.
Yeah. And it's that thing, like, you know, I always thought, like, you know, doing stand-up, like, you know, saying the first thing that people are thinking about you when you go up, so then you don't have to dwell on it. Or or you don't have to worry about them thinking about it through your whole set. But in terms of the parenting, I guess, you know, it is that we're still in that, you know, that phase of taking him out and things like that. Like we had to fly him 18 days into his life from Florida to LA. So we're learning sometimes you got to just do things. But I think, you know, we're cautious. Like we're going to like a party this weekend and there's going to be kids there and we're a little worried about it. And I guess, you know, how do you just be okay with that? Because I know that he hasn't gotten sick. I know he's gonna be sick at some point, and I want to be fine with that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you understand risks and you take the precautions you need to take. You know, it's just like, you know, you'll hear a lot, oh, you don't fly with a baby under 2 months of age because they don't have their vaccines, but things come up. Perfect example. You know, we have families who adopt. We have families who maybe a grandparent is sick and they want to meet the baby for the first time. There's a lot of situations. So then you say, okay, I understand that there's a risk of getting sick when you're in an airport or airplane. How can we limit that risk? And you limit it by keeping them in a carrier, holding them to you and using the airflow and doing, and, you know, you hand washing and Purelling when you touch things. So you limit that risk as best as possible, knowing you're doing your best because we don't live in a vacuum and rules don't apply 100% of the time. And that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, we are doing all that stuff. And I feel like, you know, when he does get sick, it's more important that we just take care of him than freak out about our inability. And it's going to be inevitable.
Parents. All kids get sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, the birthday party with a bunch of toddlers, they're all disgusting. Keep them away from him.
What is it like for you as a pediatrician when someone comes in with a kid for the first time and they're sick? Do they often overreact? Do they blame themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I think all that goes through a parent's head. I think because most importantly, they just want the child to feel better, and it's really scary not knowing. And a lot of times when you don't have that perspective of seeing it before, you think the worst. And then once they've been sick a couple times, you realize, oh, it's just a cold. Really, that's the point of view I'm coming from as a pediatrician. Why it makes it easy for me is when I see things, I've usually seen it 1,000 times. So I know not to worry. But the first time you see anything, even as a doctor, it can be more anxiety producing. So it's more that perspective. And then once you get that reassurance, whether it's from your doctor or a family member or a grandparent or somebody who's been through it, that makes you feel better over time that everything's going to be okay. Because by and large, the best thing about kids, and you saw this in day 1 through 14 of life, is kids are resilient, and they're more resilient than any adult. They get through things better than we give them credit for, or things that we would never be able to handle ourselves. And he's already shown you that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So are you going to continue? I mean, is writing more your vibe? Do you like to do stand up more? And now that having a kid, will the stand up and the travel of it all be a little bit more difficult to do, or how are you kind of gauging your career?
Yeah. I think around the pandemic, I started just, you know, shifting more into writing, and I like it. And it's also, you know, it's health insurance. Like I'll talk to, you know, comedians who are like, I don't know if I want to write. And I was like, yeah, based on how you walk around, you should get that Blue Cross. Like, I mean, you know, because of that, I mean, I think as, I don't see myself as very masculine or whatever, but I feel like in terms of like my job to provide and all that, knowing that because of like silly jokes that I wrote, I'm able to give health insurance to my family is probably the thing I'm proudest of.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Career wise, like of any accomplishment that I've ever had is like, that's a cool thing. You know?
Well, yeah, it's a
people in other countries can't relate to that. But
well, I tell you,
they don't have to.
To give your son or daughter, you know, you don't think about that really as a single person. You know, you're just taking care of yourself. If I got health insurance, I got it. If I don't, I don't. I'll deal with it. As soon as you add a kid into the mix, it changes your whole perspective on health insurance, providing it, being able to access it. So yeah, it's definitely a life change for people who, you know, are out there, especially comedians. You know, we don't, there's no 401k or health health benefits that we have access to. So yeah, some people don't realize the responsibility having a child. But to go back to your point in the beginning, I think we got to implement some type of interview process for married couples who are thinking of having a baby. Teenagers, whoever it is.
First one, yeah.
Because the hoops that you had to go through to get yourself a baby, I know about 6 or 7 people in my life right now. If they had to go through what you had to go through, they wouldn't be having babies.
Or people who already have kids who would have failed that.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Absolutely.
No, and thank you for sharing that, because our listeners maybe who are having trouble conceiving or thinking about adoption, to hear that obviously there's going to be ups and downs with the process, but obviously an amazing, worthwhile experience. So
yeah, you got to just get through it. And they say this in the adoption community, and I think it's true of just, you know, every kid, but no child should be born with a job, which I love. It's like, it's not your newborn's job to help you deal with those past things and all of that. And it's kind of like, yeah, when he's born and he's in your life, you just take care of him, and, you know, and so help yourself, you know, do therapy, do all the things that you need to do, so that he can have the best life.
Yeah, Mike, it's really nice that you're so open about it and transparent of kind of what you went through. It's a great story, and like you said, I hope our listeners definitely learn from your experience. We appreciate you being on our show today, Mike, and enjoy that little son of yours. And
thanks.
And we wish you the best.
yeah, good luck with everything, Mike.
I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
You got it, man. Unbelievable what you got to go through to get a baby, right?
Yeah, not only go through, but then have a baby that's addicted to heroin and withdrawing, like on day one of life. And, you know, we've seen babies like this, and it's, I mean, you know, in your mind what an adult looks like when they're withdrawing, and you're talking about a baby who now is having tremors, sometimes full on seizures, not eating well, breathing fast, hypertonic, crying, super fussy, and they were just born.
Yeah, it's awful.
And thankfully, as you see, these things start to improve. Their medications, sometimes it just takes time. And they have great love and support. So,
have you seen, you know, kids born into that environment, you know, drug use and whatnot, and they get adopted? What is the nature versus nurture thing here? Does this kid who's born from a drug addict have more of a propensity to, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't know that I have the answer to that. I see a lot of children, though, in those situations end up doing really, really well. Mm-hmm. So, you know, with the love and support, I think that component is really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that one more question? Is that kid now addicted to hair? I mean,
no, because they were in withdrawal, so they were coming off of it, right? They got it through the uteroplacental transfer, and then as soon as they're not attached to mom, now it has to get out of their system, and once it's out, it's out.
Got it.
All right, so I wanted, you know, we have these, what do we call our snack time?
This segment's called Daddy Snack?
Yeah. So
But
yeah.
This
This is not a snack. All right. This is a tutorial. I want to talk a little bit about, we get a lot of questions from viewers about formula, baby formulas, and there's different types of formulas. So when children take formula, most formulas, the main component is it's a cow's milk protein formula, like the cow's milk protein that you drink in regular milk. Mm-hmm. Breast milk is a human milk protein. So most of the formulas are cow's milk protein. That's the first one. And we're going to do a little taste test of that. All right. And then if a child's really fussy or gassy with that, but they're still taking good volume and they're gaining weight, we may go to something that's a little more gentle on their stomach, decrease gas, a little more easily digestible. So that's our second formula. And then when a baby's having a lot of issues with formula, they're really fussy, they may be refusing, pushing away the formula, weight gain's not good, sometimes they'll have bloody stool, we'll go to a fully hypoallergenic formula, which is basically a formula that they take the cow's milk protein, they break it down and wash it, and so it's more easily digestible to its basic components, and that's our third. So I want to try each one and see if you notice a difference. Does one taste better than the other? Again, we have the cow's milk protein formula, we have a partially broken down formula, and we have a fully hypoallergenic formula.
Okay,
Yes.
where my head went on the whole thing?
Yes.
You have to tell me right now if any of this is breast milk.
No, I would not do that because, and I'll tell you why, because breast milk is a bodily fluid, and that I would not have anybody drinking somebody else's bodily fluids. Even when we go to breast milk banks, what do? They pasteurize that milk. They test it for disease. They heat pasteurize it, break it down to make sure it's safe.
Okay.
So I would not give you breast milk.
Because why is this taped?
Because I don't want to show brands, because there's a lot of different brands and I don't have a preference for brands.
Okay.
And I would also like to help lots of different brands.
Okay, this is like one of these things like baby food.
Yeah,
where
so I don't-
This is weird, man.
So you're going to taste a little bit, but you should know what babies taste when they're taking formula. So smell it. It's going to be, just smell it first. All right. And I have to be honest with you. Have I tasted this? I think I have tasted it before.
You taste it first.
So it's like a sweetened milk. It tastes like. Taste it. I don't think you're going to gag or vomit, but this is what babies taste. Like if you put that in,
It's terrible.
okay, like your coffee, would you notice it?
Yeah.
No. All right. So that's a regular cow's milk protein milk basic formula that most babies are on. So the baby's a little more fussy. We're going to take a partially broken down formula. You want to shake it? So actually not as
Wine.
not as tasty not as tasty as the first one because it's a little more broken down. See if you notice a difference. I don't notice a huge difference.
Oh, it's awful.
Worse than the first one?
Yeah, this is bitter.
It is a little more bitter. So it's a little more bitter. So this is a fully hypoallergenic. So what you're doing is, again, you're breaking down the cow's milk protein and making it very easy to
before
digest.
you start chugging that.
Yeah.
Does it have a nipple on it?
Yeah. But
Could you just squirt it so we could?
yeah, but just taste it first. And then I have another. We're going to do
No,
something
that's
else.
what I'm saying. I don't want to.
What?
It's bad enough we're drinking the milk. Then with your backwash, just
Not backwashing. There you go. Here, have a shot.
that's a little.
You know,
I'm gonna go
okay,
from the
all right,
tap.
oh.
Oh, this tastes terrible. This smells.
So
terrible.
typically babies don't like the taste of the fully hypoallergenic formula as much because it is more broken down. But and it is hard to get down. But and for those who are not on video, Sebastian is spitting it out, maybe vomiting the hypoallergenic formula. Okay, I know he's chasing it with yogurt melts. But here's the thing: if you're a baby and you're in pain taking one of the regular formulas, and you realize that maybe it doesn't taste as good, but you're not in pain anymore, you get used to it and you drink it and things like that. So I do want to do one last thing, so you understand about formulas and how difficult it is for a baby to take a bottle, whether it's breast milk or formula. It's something that I did at my baby shower. So what we did is we filled bottles with beer. Okay. And this is about how many ounces is this right now? So we got 6 ounces. So a baby could probably take this down. Some babies could take this down between 5 and 15 minutes. Okay, the whole bottle. Mm-hmm. All right. I want you to see how much you can take. This is just beer. We're both having a beer together. I want you to see how much you can get in any amount of time. All right. So cheers.
Well, again, before we start this,
It is beer. It's
I know, it's
it's
beer.
all it is.
But listen, we go milk.
yeah.
Right?
I know, but
Beer.
you just spit it all out. I know. That's all right. Cheers. All right. To Daddy versus Doctor. Okay.
It's very difficult.
Are you getting anything?
Well, I don't want to get knocked out. I'm not getting much. No.
So where are you in it? Let's say me versus you. Go.
So your point is,
There's no point at all.
it takes a lot.
It's really hard to do.
Yeah. So what's the?
I also made my nipple wider, and you have a slow flow.
Is that right?
Yeah. So yours is impossible to suck out of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the different size nipples, right? Different size nipples. So watch.
Oh.
Now turn yours over.
Oh yeah. Wow. I gotta tell you, bro. When we started this, I didn't think it was gonna end up here.
No.
All right. The milk and beer in the same segment, but it was a good experience to actually taste what they are tasting.
Right.
Because in my head, I'm like, okay, that's just probably
Like a milkshake. Right.
Milkshake.
It's not.
I'm surprised kids aren't spitting that out.
Yeah. And they tolerate it really well.
And breast milk, the taste on that, is it similar or?
No, I mean it can vary on the woman and their diet as well. You ever taste breast milk?
No.
So it's
you?
different.
You have.
Maybe. I need to know, but of my wife's, not somebody else's.
You haven't tasted your wife's?
No.
You tasted somebody
No,
else's?
I said of my wife,
Of your
not
wife.
somebody
Okay,
else's.
Okay. Again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Share it with 5 friends. Get this thing around. The amount of information that we're covering on this thing is just such a wide range. We tasted baby formula today, which to me was like unbelievable how awful that tastes.
But it's good to experience like what a baby is tasting and how hard it is to get something out of a bottle nipple.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, great story from Mike Lawrence on his adoption, having a baby addicted to drugs.
Fisher's family.
Hollywood's family. We're just going to go with Fisher's family because that's all you really need to know. Kid was amazing. You never think of a 14-year-old Googling what's wrong with him. That's normally reserved for adults, but kids are now doing it. And thanks for sharing that, Hollywood. You're going places.
And I hope this isn't your last episode because I hear after this you're grabbing your samurai sword and going to go kill Bill.
Is that because of the jacket? Is that it? I didn't
All right, we'll look up the reference later.
I didn't get the
Cut
reference.
it.
The opinions expressed in this program are not intended as professional medical advice, as a diagnosis, as a treatment protocol, or as a substitute for professional medical advice from your physician. Please consider your own medical history and consult with your own physician for your specific healthcare and/or medical needs and about your concerns for yourself and your family.